Hello and welcome to the world of Craig. Yes, that's me, I'm Craig, and this is where we get into everything hair and sometimes, just sometimes, a little bit of beauty. Now, you've probably seen by the title and this gargantuan box that I'm sitting here with, that this is all about Pravana. The lovely peeps at Pravana reached out to me a couple of weeks ago and asked if I'd like to try some products. This video is not sponsored, but they have sent me some goodies to try, and it's been a while since I've got into the brand. So I thought, bring everything home and share the unboxing with you. This is just one of 3 boxes. So without further ado, thank you very much for watching this. And if you're here for the first time, hello. And if you're coming back again to have a look, hi, thank you very much. I really appreciate all of your support. But without further ado, let's get into what's inside this box. Now, I'm going to put this down on the floor because I'm not going to sit with it on my lap throughout the whole video. And obviously, as always in these videos, if you enjoyed this and you find it helpful or it's just fun to watch, please make sure you give it a like, make sure you're subscribed and you hit the bell and turn on those notifications so you see everything else that's coming on my channel. Yes, my channel. Now, first up, excuse me, first up, we need a colour chart, don't we? So, obviously, they have sent me the colour chart, which is very kind of the peeps at Pravana. A little bit of Pravana history. The brand was started in 2004. Love a bit of Googling. I think it originated in Mexico. It was originally a Mexican brand. It's now owned by Henkel, which is the kind of house, if you like, that owns Schwarzkopf. So obviously, great pedigree there with Schwarzkopf. And I think it's just kind of having a bit of a relaunch here in Europe, which is possibly why the brand reached out to me. It was lovely to chat to them over Zoom. Love a Zoom call. And shout out to Chris. So they have sent me these goodies, and obviously they've sent me a colour chart. Now, this is an unboxing. There's some bits of paper in the colour chart. Who loves a fresh colour chart? Hands up if you love a fresh colour chart. This is an unboxing, so I'm not going to go heavily into what everything does. It is really me sharing with you what the lovely peeps at Pravana have sent to me. So, and I would love in the comments, wow, hello, I'm a bit distracted now. I would love in the comments if you've used Pravana, if it's something that you love, if there's something in the line that you really enjoy, if there's something you can't be without. I would really love if you could let me know. That would be so helpful because I am going to be testing a lot of these products out. I'm going to have a go with testing all of them out, obviously, swatching things and on some of my models and probably on some of my clients too. So I would love to know what it is that you love from the line. Now, we've all seen a colour chart, obviously. I just need to have a very quick look at this because it's the first time I've seen it. So we have express toners. There's something that I'm quite excited about. Can you see that? Yes, you can. We've got express toners here. We've got low lighting formulas. We've got additives, correctors, if you like. What else have we got here? We've got permanent colours. So these are all the permanent lines, I think, here. Yes, they're all permanent colours. And then, yeah, still goldens, naturals. Just watch me read a colour chart. Bombshell brunettes. I mean, we all want to be a bombshell brunette, don't we? See if I can read it upside down. Cool coppers. What have we got here? Coppers, reds, etc. And then we come to the vivids, don't we? Now, the vivids in Pravana, Pravana is a market leader when it comes to vivids. I've used some of the vivids before. If you scroll right back here on my channel, right back to the very, very beginning, about 6 years ago, maybe even 7 years ago now, I did some quite big transformation videos. Transformations, I don't really like using that word anymore, but I did some quite big results videos. There we go. And they were using Pravana because it was, you know, it was kind of at the height of the kind of vivid boom, the Guy Tang and everything else that was going around. I think Guy Tang used to use Pravana at some point before he had his own line. And I know he used Kenra. So I know a little bit about these and I have used some of the shades extensively. But what we're going to do is I'm going to pull out some of the stuff that's in the box. And there is something that I've already used. So I'm going to share my thoughts on that with you as well. But it's a great colour chart, obviously. First look at it, I haven't seen it before. I think I might have seen one in a wholesaler somewhere a long time ago. It's got everything that you need. It's got at the front, I talk about this a lot. I used to talk about it a lot on my lives, which are on my Instagram, which I will pop on the screen somewhere now. This is the underlying pigment in the hair when you lift it. This is so important, this chart. It's great that it's in here. I love that. Obviously, Pravana is a very serious colour house. And then you've got the colour wheel as well, which, you know, is something that we all have memorised. I would strongly suggest that you have this memorised as well. It's really helpful to have that in the back of your head, in the middle of your head, somewhere in your head, so that you can pull it out when you're doing colour in salon. And then obviously as well, it's got a full description of what everything, all the developers and everything else and the mixing ratios in the front here. So enough of the colour chart. Let's have a look at what's in the box. Now it makes sense to start off with the hero. Yeah, of the line, and that is the direct dyes, the thing that Pravana is known for. I've already mentioned, and the thing that kind of initially made me use the line 7 years ago. So we have 3 different sorts of direct dye in the stable, if you like, in the house. So we have the Vivids. This is Emerald. I've got so many fantastic colours to try. My brain is with combinations of things that I could use on house models and things I want to formulate and swatch out. So starting off with Emerald here, like I said, I do have lots to try, so thank you very much to Pravana for that. The traditional Vivids, everything comes under the Chroma Silk brand, if you like. Oh, and I've just realised we match. Yeah, it's officially spring here, I think, in London, although today you wouldn't think it was. So I thought a bit of spring ring. Still quite chilly. Then we have the Chroma Silk Vivid Pastels. Now, like I said, this is Too Cute Coral. If you scroll right back here on my channel, you will find a sort of dreamy pink sorbet hairdo on the gorgeous Miss Carter, who is was one of my house models. She's become a friend, and that's what I use Too Cute Coral for. And I absolutely love this shade, and it'll be fun to use it again. I have already thought of something I could use that for. And then something I didn't know existed, which is Chroma Silk Vivids Everlasting. This shade is called Poison Berry. I mean, yeah, love that. And this is a permanent direct dye. I also noticed as well there's a clear in this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shades and a clear, he says, looking over the colour chart. 6 shades and a clear. So that obviously means you can dilute the shades down, but these are permanent direct dyes. Interesting. Something I definitely want to swatch out as soon as I can. So that's the Vivids from Pravana. Now, next up, it's something I've tried in salon. I used this twice yesterday in salon, and that's the Pure Light Ultra Lightener. Now, yeah, it's a great lightener. And as I said in the beginning of this video, it's not sponsored. This is all sent to me gifted, and I was under no obligation to make any content, but I do like a lightener. I love global lightening, and I do a lot of partial lightening, as I'm sure that you do, and a lightener is such an important intrinsic part of what I do day to day in the salon. So when I did open the box in the salon, I'm going to insert a little bit of video here. I opened the boxes because I was going to bring some of it home to make this video, and here we are. And I couldn't carry everything back home. I did get an Uber in the end, and then take everything back to the salon. So I picked a few things out of the boxes. But that meant that I was going to try this on some clients. It's the most beautiful creamy consistency, and the lift is great. I'll be completely honest, I used a particular lightener from one brand for quite a long time, for about 7 years, and then I switched over a couple of years ago, and I've been using Blondor granules, which I love, and it's a great product, but consistency wise and lift, this matches up to that. I've only used it twice. I haven't used it on scalp yet, which I will obviously need to do to test it out, and I will be doing. Really cute, natty packaging. It comes sealed, and you take the seal out, and then it has this little nozzle so that you can measure it out. It's super important to measure out your lightener and your developer. I used it on one client at a 1:2, so 1 part lightener and 2 parts 10 vol, and then I used it on another client, 1 part lightener and 2 parts 20 vol. It gave me a really pure clean lift. It lifted in the same kind of time frame as a normal lightener would, around half an hour, 35 minutes. Both of them were partial lightening, as I said, so I put my foils in and then I cover them with a plastic cap, or I've got like a little bonnet in the salon that I use sometimes. I like to use the body heat to get the incubation. Now, this has up to 9 levels of lift. I know it's well loved because I put a poll on my Instagram stories and lots of people replied saying, yeah, I love it, I love it, I love it. I think most of them were in America. So now this has, I can just about read it on the side there, but I'm going to read it from my iPad. This has a thing called Reunite Mending Technology to mend the cuticle layer. Ideal for global blonding, including hard to lift hair, platinum blonde touch-ups and pre-lightening for vivids. So I don't know enough about Reunite Mending Technology to go into what that is, but I will be Googling it after that. But my initial thoughts on the Pure Light Ultra Lightener up to 9 levels of lift is that it is great. It's kind of what I expected from the brand, and I will look forward to getting into it more. Overexcited about Lightener, and forgot to mention there is another lightening product called Power Lightener, which is up to 7 levels of lift. It has a blue colour to it, and I know that's a lot of people's preference. It isn't really mine. I will test it out, but I prefer a white lightener. I just always have, and the fact that this is 9 levels of lift, and I like to use lower levels of developer and process for slightly longer. That's how I do things. There are videos here on my channel that go into why I do that. There's lots and lots of free education on here. Shameless plug. But I am a white lightener person, but there is the other lightener, which is blue, the Power Lightener, and it's up to 7 levels of lift. Now, as a colour house, Pravana, you could say that at the centre of its line sits its permanent hair colour. Now, this is Chroma Silk. Interesting fun fact, chroma means purity or intensity of colour. So it makes sense that this line's called Chroma Silk, and I've got several shades in my box, so to speak. I just wanted to read from their website, 135 plus, that's a big shade range, quite impressive, of award-winning silk and keratin-based permanent cream hair colour that spans over 6 different tonal families. Now, several things on first thoughts. I have never used the permanent colour line before. What have I got here? I have 6NTL, I have 6N. I use quite a lot of 6N in salon, I think we probably all do. And I have 5.45, which is 5cm. Now, first up, as I mentioned, Pravana was originally Mexican, a Mexican brand, but obviously it has a huge prevalence, a huge presence in America. I'm a big fan of American colour lines for lots of different reasons. I generally like the formulations very much, the science and the chemistry that goes into them. I like the numbering systems that they use. I like the fact that a lot of these that I've seen so far contain both the letters and numbers and letters, which I think is really helpful. I think a shade range of 135 colours is quite impressive. In salon, I do a lot of partial lightening, I do some global bleaching, but I do about 30% of what I do is root retouching, 30 to 40%, because a lot of my clients are the same age, a similar age to myself. And we are covering grey, blending grey, covering grey, covering grey. So I will be trying these out on my clients and you know, replacing their formulas with these. So I can't wait to get into them and see how they perform. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video and at various points throughout so far, this is an unboxing, and I have just noticed, so this is the first time I've seen some of these products, and I have just noticed, I was told on the lovely Zoom chat that it's quite interesting. These are 90ml tubes in here. Get one out, why don't I show you a tube. These are 90ml tubes, and I've just remembered that they're mixed 1 to 1.5, so it's 1 part hair colour and 1.5 parts developer. That's quite interesting because it means that the product goes further. A little nugget of information, something that I just noticed, 1 to 1.5 on the back. So it makes it more economical, economical depending where you are in the world. Something to think about. High lift tints. Now, controversial yet bold. I don't use high lift tint. I just don't use it at all. That might be wildly controversial to some of you and a bit nuts, but I just, personally, I feel like it is a bit like pushing a rock up a cliff, and you're never going to get exactly what you want. So I like very translucent lighter results. So I lift things up and then I bring them down and I tone them. I have had a quick look in the colour chart. These are ones that stand out to me, the violet blue and the champagne in the high lift tints. I haven't used them, like I said, I don't know enough about them. I will give them a go. I will try them out to see what they're like, because I can't have an overview of the whole product line if I don't. But it's not something I would use an awful lot in the salon. I'm also not a fan of a kind of bleached highlight and a high lift tint, and then a bleached highlight, high lift tint, or any other kind of those ratios. I'm not such a fan of the contrast. That might be something that you love, and that's totally fine. It's personal preference. All hair colour is personal preference as creatives, isn't it? So there are high lift tints in the line, but they won't get a lot of use from me, I don't think. That's without testing them. Now, if I'm going to test out the colour line, it makes sense to have the back bar, the shampoo and conditioner that goes with the line. Back bar, is that what you call it? Wet line? I call it a wet line, yeah. So they basically sent me, the lovely peeps at Pravana, a shampoo and conditioner. Now this is from the Colour Protect line. Nice packaging, non-offensive. We're gonna get into that at the back of the basins. Now, just pop that in between my legs here. So I'm going to read from their website again, because this has got some quite incredible claims here. Clinically proven to ensure colour lasts up to 60 washes. That's quite amazing. Antioxidant properties to stop residual oxidation. It's quite early here, teeth in again. UV colour protectors reduce colour fading. Enriched with silk amino acids to help build strength. Who is this for? From red to blonde to brunette and even Vivid's creative colour clients, this duo is a must for every stylist. So I have the conditioner that goes with the shampoo as well. I haven't had a look at the formulation, the ingredients. Okay, yeah, but I will. Okay, it uses that as a surfactant. Yes, I will. You don't want to see me going through that now. As a super nerd, I will get into this and have a look at the formulation, and I will let you know. So last but by no means least, we have the Express Tones. Now, there's I think, yeah, you can see that. So we have the Express Tones. Again, they're in the 90ml tubes. They're mixed 1 to 1.5, which I think is quite genius. I'm gonna just pop those here. So let's have a little look at the ones that some of the ones that I've been sent here. So what have we got here? We've got Violet, which is down the bottom here. That's divine and something that I'm probably gonna get into first off. I'd quite like to get one of my house models in to try that out. What else have I got? So I've got Violet. I have Clear, which makes sense because these are express toners, so they take in 5 minutes. So 5 minutes is not really very much time, and I would probably, to start off with, mix them with 1-to-1 with the Clear to give me a little bit more time to play about with them. I'm guessing that they are, he says, grappling for a box, I'm guessing that they are quite pigmented. I suspect that they are. Obviously not used them before. And then we have Pearl, which is above the Violet here, which is also like beautiful. I know that these are the Express Tones. I'm going to put this down. Excuse me. I know that the Express Tones are really popular. They're something that people really, really like. I can't be 100% sure, but I think that Pravana was one of the first houses to come out with an Express Toner. I love to pre-tone. I don't do anything that I don't tone in some way. So for things like flash toning, if you're gonna, which I've been doing more of recently, I've always been a sort of 20-minute diluter product and leave it on for 20 minutes to get kind of maximum deposit, maximum longevity. But I have been flash toning a little bit more, keeping things kind of brighter and bolder. So it will be fun to get into these. So that's it for a look inside my Pravana unboxing. Big up to Pravana for sending that to me. I'm really grateful. It's always lovely to try new things out, and I cannot wait to get into it. So thank you to them. Is there something that I've talked about on here that you love and you'd like to tell me about? Or is there something you'd like to see me use and give you my thoughts on it? Well, then pop all of that in the comments. I have a really strict policy. You comment on here or you DM me on Instagram and I will always, always reply. Super strict policy on that. That's the way that it is here with me. I have an Instagram, which is on the screen now, which is packed full of more free education, some fun reels on the psyche of what we do as hairdressers, and loads of lives from way back, lots of technique videos, etc., etc. So you can check all of that out there. Once again, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Make sure you're subscribed and you hit that bell, because that means you'll see everything that's coming here on my channel. Lots of love, you all take lots of care, and I'll see you all in the next one.